E aí pessoal, bem-vindos ao canal Amigo Gringo. Estou de volta em Nova York. Na verdade, já tenho 15 dias aqui em Nova York, mas peguei Covid. Queria até gravar enquanto estava sofrendo com febre e com dores e tudo, mas eu tinha que também me manter atualizado em todos os meus trabalhos de professor da minha empresa e não deu. Mas estou totalmente recuperado, só um pouco de problema de olfato ainda. E vamos voltar com um vídeo sobre o inglês e especificamente sobre algumas expressões idiomáticas que você precisa saber. Essas são expressões idiomáticas que todo americano, e eu acho que todo inglês, e eu acho que todo canadense, e eu acho que todo australiano, que todo mundo usa. Então, vai ser um bom teste. E eu encontrei um professor do Cambly que é muito bom em explicar essas expressões, muito melhor do que eu. O nome dele é Juan, ou John, ele prefere John, a versão em inglês do nome dele. E vamos falar com ele daqui a pouco, mas primeiro eu quero lembrar para todo o mundo, que nosso mundo, que tudo está online. Agora tudo. Antes da pandemia, muitas coisas online. Agora tudo está online, que você pode aprender inglês online. E como vocês sabem, Cambly sempre oferece uma aula de graça para quem quer testar o sistema, para quem quer ver como é uma aula online, usando o código que está aqui. Mas eu sei que muitos de vocês já fizeram sua aula de graça. Então, neste mês, Cambly está oferecendo um desconto sobre os planos, ok? Mesmo código, vai lá, veja quais são os descontos. Sempre tem professores online, e o que eu gosto mais dos perfis dos professores, quando eu estou escolhendo professores para nos acompanhar aqui nos vídeos, é que eles têm vídeos. Você consegue ver 1 minuto da pessoa falando. Eu consigo entender essa pessoa falando inglês, eu gosto do jeito dessa pessoa, e eu gostei muito do jeito do John. Vamos conectar com ele pelo Cambly agora.
Good
Hey,
morning.
John, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. My name is Juan. Seth, right?
Yep, I am Seth.
Nice.
You can call me Sechi,
Seth.
because that's the way many people pronounce my name in Portuguese. I understand you speak some Portuguese.
Indeed, yes. I decided to learn Portuguese after I became an adult. I was very interested in traveling to Brazil, working in call centers out there until I, just to get along with the society over there. Maybe I thought I will be out there 6 months, learn Portuguese, and just be back. That will help me a lot. I just couldn't do it, so I decided, just to find a different way, different route to speak it and to practice it and to learn it.
Okay, well, we're going to force you to speak some Portuguese. Let me ask you, você é de onde? Você é americano? Okay.
Eu nasci no Canadá, mas meus pais são mexicanos. Meus pais são tropicais, então não gostam do frio. Então eles decidiram mudar a Califórnia. Eu cresci aí toda a minha vida toda.
Agora foi para México e você mora no México.
5 anos atrás eu decidi mudar no México porque minha mãe, minha avó, está grande, um pouco enferma, tinha Alzheimer, então mas eu precisava morar com ela, cuidar dela, então eu decidi também mudar.
Muito bom. Okay, we're going to speak English now because this is a Cambly lesson, but I just wanted them to show you that you speak very good Portuguese. So I mean, you were able to express yourself very well. So that, I think that's good for students who feel a little bit uncomfortable speaking English. Maybe they're more beginner level. So at least they know that you could talk to them if you had to.
Well, better than that, I understand most of the Portuguese. It's just my speaking. That's my weakness. My strength is the listening, so I can understand 90% of the Portuguese.
And how do we find you? You're on Cambly as Juan
Tellez, Juantellez.
Very good. So I think what we're going to do today is do some idiomatic expressions. When you give the expression, I'm going to see if I know how to say it in Portuguese. I probably won't know.
A picture is worth 1,000 words.
I think that people might understand that in Portuguese, but I don't know how you would say that. Uma foto vale 1,000 palavras? Uma imagem.
So normally the person would just be telling you what to do, or telling you more, just running their mouth a lot.
Yeah.
Instead of and they're wasting their time trying to explain to you in one way or another way when they can just simply give you an example of what needs to be done, and just expressing what they really want to say through an image, through an example,
Right. Okay, very good. So it actually doesn't have to be a real photograph.
Yeah, and this is actually something that I really like to do while teaching. It's not just about giving a theory. It's not just about explaining in different ways to a person. If you give them an example, that will clear their thoughts. Especially, for example, when I teach the perfect tenses, which many people say, nobody can explain to me the perfect tenses. Nobody understands how. I use, for example, I'm a mathematicals, geek. So, I just use the present, the future, the past. I say, I use the simple present is just an action. The continuous is an action and a time. Then the perfect present will be an action done since some certain specific time. It will stop here. Then just to continue.
If you can explain the present perfect and the perfect tenses to Brazilians, you must be the best teacher in the history of Cambly, because they are always frustrated by that. Okay, that's great. So picture is worth 1,000 words. Uma imagem vale 1,000 palavras.
Uma imagem vale mais que 1,000 palavras.
Okay, very good. This guy's teaching me Portuguese. Okay, what's the next one?
My bad.
No,
So,
please.
You can say that again.
Oh, you can say that again. That's a great one. I don't think it's like that one literally into Portuguese. Literally, it would be like, pode dizer isso de novo.
Exacto.
But that's not what it means. What does it mean?
It means that basically it's just agreeing to what you just mentioned.
Yeah, like a strong agreement. Like
yeah, like right now when you just said, now these guys teaching me Portuguese and I had to use it. You can say that again.
You can say that again.
But it's just a joke.
Exactly. It kind of sounds stupid when you think about it, like in literal English. You can say that again. Well, why would you say it again? You already said it. But what it really means is, I completely agree with you.
So far, so good. So far, so good. We are on this class. So far, so good.
Yeah,
we are giving a lesson.
This is going great. I don't know how you would say that in Portuguese either. Está indo bem até agora. But that's not really an idiomatic expression.
Até agora, tudo bem. So just saying, like, up to this moment, everything is running as we thought.
You must learn so far, so good. All right, what's the next one?
Make a long story short. Make a long story short.
Can you say that in Portuguese? Resumindo, that would be like, okay, let's just summarize this.
That would be like a translation. It would be just a direct translation.
Para resumir a história, para
fazer a história mais pequena.
Mais breve, maybe. Give us an example of when you would say that.
Normally, somebody asks me a question which requires a long answer. You just have to explain that you're about to make it brief. So you would just say, to make a long story short, and that's where you just go almost to the point, to the end.
Right, okay. Yeah, the funny thing is, a lot of times, I think, when people say, I'm going to make a long story short, then they still tell a long story. They think they're going to tell a short story, but then in reality, they tell a long story. Oh, well.
It happens a lot.
All right, what's next?
It's not rocket science.
Oh, that's a great one. And what does that mean if I say something is not rocket science?
Basically, it's not difficult. This doesn't supposed to be difficult in general.
I think there's another expression that's kind of like that, which is, it's not brain surgery, which would be the same thing. Like these are things you need to go to school for many years to understand. And basically we're saying you don't need to go to school for many years to understand.
Esta não é ciência do foguete.
All right, what's next?
Well, something that we like to say, and something that we all love to do, which is hit the sack.
Oh.
Right after we finish our tasks.
Hit the sack. Bater no saco, I guess. Uh-oh, that sounds kind of bad in Portuguese. What is
yes.
What does this mean, to hit the sack?
Well, in English, it means like I'm about to go, end up in the bed, just go to sleep.
Yeah, go to sleep. I wonder what it comes from. I think probably people used to call a bed a sack, maybe? Or
they probably slept in sacks.
They slept on a sack. Yeah, that's probably true. Before there was like mattresses, they probably just had a stack filled with straw or something like that.
Yes, and most of these different idioms, we gotta understand that they come from different regions.
Yeah. And
in America, the United States, it's a place with different type of lifestyles in different places. This probably is a little bit countryside.
Yeah, that's right.
Idiom compared to the rocket science. You don't hear somebody from the countryside talking about rocket science.
All right, I like it. You're connecting the different expressions. That's like what a good teacher does.
Absolutely. I don't want this to get out of hand.
Yeah. Let's not go too crazy. Let's not let it get out of hand. I don't think you can say that. Sair de mão. Maybe there's some expression. Everybody, if there's an expression like this in Portuguese, just put it in the comments, and John and I will look at it.
Indeed.
What does this mean, to get out of hand?
It's simple, to get out of control.
Out of control.
So normally when you have something in your hand, it's because you have it controlled. And if it gets out of your hand, what do you no longer control it?
Very, very good explanation. You are very good at explaining these expressions. Okay, let's do a few more.
That's good. I thought you were about to call it a day.
No. Oh my God, he's very good. He's very good.
But in that case, you just decided to hang in there. So that's good.
Oh my God, hold on. Okay, wait. Call it a day and hang in there. Okay, so there's two. Call it a day, chamá-lo dia. Definitely you cannot say that in Portuguese. What does call it a day mean?
Sometimes we are very, very tired. In a long day, and we're probably talking in our workplace with somebody, and that somebody's like, what time are you going to get up? Well, I think I'm about to call it a day right now because I'm just too tired.
That's a great example. Yeah, you're at work and you just say, I'm going to call it a day. And I think that it's easy to understand what that means, right? So I'm going to say that what I've done, let's just say that's one day's work. I'm done for the day.
It's sufficient.
Let's call that a day.
Indeed.
Very common
That's
expression.
right, that's right.
And then you said hang in there. Well, it's interesting. There's a lot of expressions with hang, right? So what does hang in there mean?
Well, hang in there just means don't be a quitter. Don't quit. And you can see this a lot in the movies of, you see, Brazilians. Honestly, I gotta say, Brazilians love a lot the movies about shootings, the war movies.
Yeah.
They love to watch American war movies. And when in the more war movies, you will see this in the most dramatic scene where somebody's dying. They're like, just tell my family, like, oh no, man, hang in there, they're coming for you.
That is so true. I'm very impressed by how good your examples are of this. So hang in there. But if we change the phrasal verb, right, instead of hang in, if we said hang out, that means something completely different. That means just to chill or to
meet up.
To meet up with somebody. Hey, let's hang out tonight. Hang in there. Oh, please, I want to hang out with you. When can you do it? Hang in there. I'll hang out with you as soon as possible.
Just don't give up. Just hang in there. Like, don't quit on us. Just give it some more time. Give him some more time.
All right, I'm having fun with this.
Quit.
Let's do two more.
Well, first we gotta get our act together,
Get your act together. I do not have any idea how you would say that in Portuguese. But that would be something like organiza, tem que se organizar. Você está muito desorganizado. I don't know. How would you explain that?
Você tinha que organizar seu acto. That's a literal translation, but it actually just means falar de organizar.
If someone seems to be like almost, or it can be like you're losing your mind, like you're feeling really stressed out and you're nervous. And then you could say to that person, if you're anxious, come on, get your act together. It's not very nice, though.
Sometimes they slap them. I've seen it in movies. Hey, get your act together.
That's exactly right. This is perfect. So you don't want to say get your act together unless you're being a little bit mean, right? Get your act together. Okay, let's do one more.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's break a leg there.
Break a leg. Okay, break a leg. I wonder if they say this. This is a thing actors say. I wonder what actors say in Brazil when they want to wish each other good luck. Quebrar uma perna. I think they don't say this. What does it mean?
They don't want to. No, especially Brazilians, because they play football. So the last thing they want to do is quebrar una perna.
Yeah, they definitely don't want to do that. But that is this funny expression, right? I mean, you hear it mostly in like actors in a play. They'll say to the other one, okay, break a leg. And I think it's almost like the opposite they mean, like don't break a leg, or maybe it means
exactly.
Isn't that right? I think that's
yes, it's completely, it's like a sarcastic good luck expression. So breaking a leg just means like do as much as you can, have so much of a good time that you almost break a leg for your performance.
Right. Wow. Okay, this is amazing. I would love to do more, but we don't really have time. I know people are going to ask a question. So, and they're going to ask, we speak with different accents. We're both speaking pretty standard English. If you were speaking, I would say, oh, I think this guy might be a Mexican American. Not because your accent is like from Mexico, but because it's from the United States, from a Chicano community. Does that sound right to you?
In a way, although Northern California is a little bit different. But yes, indeed, I agree with you. I
mean, if I close my eyes, I would say this guy's not from New York for sure. He's from a different part of the country. So it's very interesting. And of course, we have so many different accents around the United States. Of course, I love the Southern accent. And I think you also love your hillbilly accent, right? What do you like to say?
So normally I just like to talk around, people and just give them the understanding of how a normal American will normally speak to them. They talk to them for the first time,
That is so funny. So, John, thank you so much. You're going to be back in 2 more videos. Anyone who wants to find you, once again, it's Juan Tellez, and we'll put that up on the screen. Use your free class to talk to, and if you need him to explain in Portuguese, he'll do it. Thanks so much. Gostaram? Podem usar essas expressões em qualquer momento nos Estados Unidos, todo mundo vai entender. Muito obrigado mais uma vez para John. Para quem quer conhecer ele, é só entrar com o código que está aparecendo de novo aqui. E a gente vê no próximo Amigo Gringo.